also like to start by acknowledging that we are standing on stolen land today and that our fight for justice here is far from over. In 1973, Roe v. Wade came about, and this was 100 years after the criminalization of abortion in America. Some thought that abortion rates would rise following this legalization, but that isn't what happened. Our estimation is that the rates of illegal abortions that took place prior to Roe v. Wade are identical to the amount of legal abortions that take place today. Banning abortions has never stopped them from happening. History and statistics will continually tell us this story. Banning abortions does not stop abortions from happening, but it sure as hell ensures that more of us will die in the process. The scholar Leslie Reagan recorded the stories of those who suffered in a time where abortions were banned in America. Of the women who paid $1,000 for back alley abortions and were offered a discount if they could be sexually assaulted in the process. Of those who couldn't afford this cost, and so they drank castor oil and Everclear alcohol. They bathed themselves in boiling water and they threw themselves downstairs. And if these means didn't work out, they hammered their stomachs with meat pulverizers and inserted catheters inside themselves until they bled. We all know the symbol of the coat hanger, but do we know what it actually stands for? The point of the coat hanger was not to perform an abortion yourself. It was to induce enough bleeding, prolific bleeding, that a doctor would be forced to operate and may believe you were naturally miscarrying. They are the means that we have to go to. $68,000 women continue to die every year from these methods. 40% of those are girls aged between 14 and 25. Do not think for a second that the overturn of Roe v. Wade signals a return back to these dark ages, because it doesn't. It signals a progress to somewhere far worse. If the leaders of the so-called free world can look at these stories of trauma and death and see nothing but inspiration for their policies, then we are truly living in a world that is governed by monsters. Our coat hangers will look different to they did in the past. They will look like doctors refusing chemotherapy because it may harm a fetus. It will look like ectopic pregnancies being treated too late. Pregnancies which guarantee both the death of the person and the embryo, and a situation we have already seen in Texas this week. It will look like the number of teenagers killing themselves rise because they think they have nowhere else to turn. These are not my predictions. These are observations that have already been made by Michelle Oberon, working in countries where abortions are currently banned. Let's not forget, while we stand here with America, that this fight has been ongoing in many places all over the world. 45% of all abortions that take place every year happen in unsafe circumstances. These abortions still account for 10% of maternal deaths every single year. Now is the time to include everyone in our activism. In a time where the scales of injustice are so heavily imbalanced, our strength is in numbers, in bodies. While we stand here today, in our shore and across shores, remember everyone in your activism. Stand with your sisters and your trans brothers and all people with uteruses through this fight. We stand in solidarity and we come up to fight when we are called, because they do not win when a piece of paper is passed. They win when we are silent. They win when we stop fighting back. And they win when we forget that the power is not ours to take back, but was always ours to begin with. We stand and we fight in solidarity. And if this fight ever comes to our shores, fucking give them hell.
Back to the backyard, no way! Back to the backyard, no way! Back to the backyard, no way!